we loved some challenge. In this one, we had to say Humpty Dumpty from cracking. Some eggs were saved and some weren't. Last term, we dressed up as puppy dogs and celebrated 101 days of learning. Woof woof. Elephants are the largest animal on land. They have a long trunk and they live in the jungle. Elephants eat plants. They walk slowly. A baby elephant is called a calf. Kindergarten celebrated 101 days of learning by drawing Dalmatian pictures and dressing up in Dalmatian costumes and having Dalmatian activities. Have started studying jungle, so we decided to jungle up our room. Here we are making vines and leaves, and here we are making paper flowers. Casey loves learning together. And Casey loves doing reading groups together. Casey loves writing together. Casey loves listening together and learning together. A mummy elephant is called a cow, and a daddy elephant is called a bull, and a baby elephant is called a calf, and a group of elephants is called a herd. Elephants have long tusks to dig. We learn to take away numbers with a dice and counters. One are learning how to tell the time on analog and digital clocks. We can describe the position of the minute and hour hand. We can tell the time to the hour and a half past. 1A have worked very hard with our writing goals. We enjoy conferencing with Miss Agwes using our writing goals. This helps us become better writers. At the end of the day, we enjoy dancing to our favorite song, Don't Stop, Never Give Up. Here's a list of what I have learned in 2-1W this year. We learned how to write life cycles in writing. We learned jump and split strategy in math. We learned halves and quarters fractions in math. We made pink chroma art and visual art. In science, we made posters of the path that the sun takes in the sky. We made constellations in science. In spelling, we had sounds like C, Y, M, and I. In handwriting, we learned the letters C, A, D, Q, R, I, and B. We made predictions in science. In geography, we did a COVID-19 worksheet.
We had fun making artworks related to the Australian artist Pete Cromer. In writing, we have done descriptions of life cycles. We have learned about areas in maths, and we have learned about time and subtraction and addition. I particularly liked learning about the healthy food eating pyramid.
In science, we learned something on materials. I did a rubber band and pom-pom. I stretched the rubber band and I squashed the pom-pom. In spelling, we learned about A sounds. In chat groups, we talked about similar and not similar. In math, we learned whole number, place value, addition, subtraction, fraction, times, area, multiplication. We love learning together in 2D. My favorite thing to do together is sport. What I like doing together with the class is art. Here is some writing and artwork that we have been busy doing in 2D. Here are also some math games that we have been playing. Thank you for letting us present our work. In spelling last week, we were learning about the phoneme P and R. Our graphemes were P or double P and R or double R.
Don't think that P and double P are the same, and you can use them in any words because you can't, and we discovered why.
We usually use a single P to make the P sound, but if the sound follows a short vowel, we need to double it, like we do in puppy, happy, and pepperoni.
Earlier in the year, we were learning all about living and non-living things. We paid particular attention to invertebrates. They are animals without a backbone or a bony skeleton, like bees. Mr. Winty loves bees. He even has a few beehives of his own. In art, we drew and painted these bees.
Science this term, we are going to learn about forces. This is what makes things move. Last week, we predicted and then experimented with how we could apply force differently to move lots of objects, like marbles and balloons.
In art, we have learnt how to create layered coloured cities, bright landscapes of Uluru and dreamy starry pictures of Sydney at night.
We have learned many new skills to apply to our artworks, and we have enjoyed using artists' chalks, paint and crayons.
In mathematics, we have been learning about the different types of angles such as acute, right angles and obtuse angles. We made an angle finder to search for angles in our school environment.
We have also been learning about 4 and 5 digit numbers and how they can be ordered in ascending and descending order. We enjoy doing group work in mathematics. In science, we have been learning about the different types of forces such as push and pull, magnetic, gravity, and friction.
We designed some experiments to learn about forces. 3J made predictions and recorded results on push and pull activities using balloons, marbles, and balls. We really enjoy science lessons.
This poem is called Morning Rain by Charles Ginyer.
Like a shadow passing by, storm clouds fill the morning sky.
From my window I see wonder,
A lightning strike, a clap of thunder.
I sit beside by the window pane and watch the world fill up with rain.
We have recited the poem Morning Rain, and we have learnt that poetry is all about emotion. Therefore, we must speak with expression.
We need to pace ourselves and have a clear voice when reciting. My class made many colorful tessellating patterns out of polygons. Tessellation are shapes repeated continuously, like a pattern, with no gaps or overlaps. My whole class really enjoyed tessellating shapes.
We were exploring a 5-digit number. As a class, we found these features of the number 71,583. 4 out of 5 digits are odd. This is not a palindromic number, which means you can't read it backwards the same as reading it forwards. It's a 5-digit number. It's in the 10,000s. It's also in the 70,000s. It's divisible by. We know that it's divisible by 3 because you add the first 4 digits, which equals to 21. It's an odd number because.
On this day, our class had to try and create a measuring device out of a recycled bottle. We worked in small groups to first estimate what 100 millimeter increments would look like on a scale. Then we used a small measuring cup to measure and mark the actual amount. This activity was a lot of fun because we could use water and water droppers to complete this activity.
During the creative arts, we looked at a whole range of different sun-faced clay art. After talking about what we liked in each picture, we designed our very own. It was tricky trying to get all of the rays to stay connected to the actual sun, but we enjoyed the challenge. We really liked how unique each person's clay art ended up being.
This year, we've really enjoyed working in groups. Here we are working on some perspective art. We're also putting our knowledge of place value on show through playing the game Nasty.
At the beginning of the year in Science 5H, we're learning about our universe. In this slide, we are working cooperatively, noting down our prior knowledge about space. Each group had a sheet of paper with a question at the top.
All groups rotated around so that each group could answer each question. At the end, we came together and presented. We then discussed our prior knowledge together.
In this slide, 5H were predicting what would happen in the book Young Dark Emu by Bruce Pascoe. We were also writing down our prior knowledge of Aboriginal culture. We were asked to get into pairs and discuss what made Young Dark Emu an Australian book.
Lately, we have been learning about what happened after the British settlers and convicts arrived in Australia. In this slide, we were learning about primary and secondary sources of information in history.
We learnt about the ancient Olympic Games and made our own mini sports carnival based on the ancient Greeks' original version, except with a few of our own tweaks in the nooks and crannies. It was really fun to come up with our own original banners and war cries, as well as making up a few sports, such as chariot racing.
It was a very interesting and intriguing exploration through science, due to our investigation in states of matter and forces, and our involvement in STEM challenges, which supported our ability to cooperate with others. We really enjoyed coming up with our very own lander that can fly from the top of the library building without killing any of our marshmallow astronauts that were inside, as well as flying paper aeroplanes of our very own designs.
We visited the quarantine station in Manly and learnt about the history of it, based off our novel study book, Ghost Boy.
As we journeyed through the timeless corridors of the quarantine station, we ventured through many interactive and engaging activities that aided us to fully comprehend the pandemic at the time when the quarantine station was still in use, thanks to smallpox.
We also engaged in many athletics activities such as chair soccer and capture the flag and many more, which allowed us to get active and have fun.
The wonderful students here in 650 at Ermington Public School have been looking at natural disasters and how they have occurred. For this research task, all students worked hard collecting information collaboratively from all different types of sources. Then they used all the information to create a quality piece of informative writing.
Students in 650 have been creating three-dimensional objects with modeling clay, then describing the shape to a partner using the terms edges, faces, and vertices. Then they will create it with modeling clay to reinforce our understanding of the properties of 3D objects.
Our class have been participating in some STEM activities. This one required the class to create a bridge out of newspaper, tape, paper plates, and popsicle sticks. Groups competed to see which bridge could hold the most weight. The heaviest a paper bridge could hold was 1.25 kilograms. We also went to the computer lab and used Bridge Designer to attempt to make a cheap bridge that trucks can drive across to the other side without the bridge breaking. Through both these activities, the students' understanding of properties that are involved with creating a successful bridge have improved, and everyone had a lot of fun.
Slide 1. 6C really enjoying singing as it is good for the soul and makes us feel happy. We are singing our favourite song, Razzle Dazzle. Slide 2. Every day, to break up the long morning session, we go out for fitness. We exercise in various ways, such as relays, ball games, frisbee throwing, jogging around the oval, etc. In addition, we often skip, and everyone has improved in different activities while jumping rope. Slide 3. Inspired by a story we read in the school magazine about super long sea creatures, we decided to draw some of these creatures in the playground with chalk. Different groups decided to draw various creatures to scale to show the rest of the school the actual length of these mammoth animals, and to give us a better understanding of their size.
In math, we have been working on making our own board games, which we played and marked with our peers. We really learned a lot through these lessons, and it was really fun.
At the beginning of the year, we went to North End Quarantine Station to learn about how immigrants were quarantined when they arrived in Sydney. It taught us a lot about how people thought differently 100 years ago and how far we've come. We also had a lot of fun debating with 5M and at the Peer Support Training Day.
In science lessons, we have been learning about gravity and force. We have also learned about air pressure and how it can affect different people and their jobs. We did an experiment with little figures and napkins and made parachutes with them. We then dropped them from tall staircases. This lesson was really fun.